Blog Talk Radio.
You are listening to Shriekfest Radio.
Hello, and welcome to Shriekfest Radio. This is Denise Gossett, the festival founder and director, and your hostess for the day. Shriekfest Radio has been on the air for 8 years now, and Shriekfest LA is celebrating its 20th year. Kind of crazy, I know. And Shriekfest Orlando is celebrating its 4th year. So mark these dates. Shriekfest LA is October 1st through the 4th. Shriekfest Orlando, November 7th. It's February. It's Women in Horror Month. Yay! So make sure you hug all your favorite women in horror. Give them shout-outs on social media, all of that good stuff. Our website is shriekfest.com. We are on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Come give us a like and a follow. We'd appreciate it. Our next Shriekfest Presents. So Shriekfest Presents, every month or every other month, we do some sort of classic horror that we present with the New Art Theater at midnight. And we have guests and really cool things happening, giveaways. This time it's going to be March 13th, Friday, March 13th at midnight, and it's Child's Play 2. So keep an eye out for special guests and what we got going on that night, and reserve that date and get your tickets online. You can sign up for our newsletter on our website. The cutoff dates, the next cutoff dates for features and short screenplays, feature and short films, music videos. We have the categories of horror, thriller, sci-fi, fantasy. Next one is March 1st. Get them in, guys. Time is going by fast, and the festival will be here before we know it. So let's see. I don't think I have any other announcements. I'm super excited about my guest today because, as you guys know, it's Women in Horror Month, so I'm trying to keep with the women on the show, which I love doing. She's an actress and a writer, and she was the writer for We Die Alone, which was the 2019 winner for Best Thriller Short Film. Welcome, Cassie Keet, to the show. How are you, Cassie?
Hello. I'm doing so well. How are you, Denise?
I am doing wonderful. Super excited to have you on here. And I know we haven't officially met in person. We've chatted via email a little bit, so I'm really excited to get to know you. First, I want to know.
Thrilled.
First I want to know, how'd you get into this business? So you're an actress and a writer. What made you decide, I want to be in this crazy, hard-to-navigate business?
It was sort of one of those things that from a really young age, I loved to write, and I was very dramatic. I still am very dramatic. And so I just sort of pursued it. I actually started writing because I was a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh.
That was sort of my entry into creative expression was I got online. This is like early AOL days, and I was basically going into chat rooms and doing what's called online role-playing games.
Oh, wow.
Where I would pretend to be Willow, and then I would, I started writing. And it was such a small little seed, but it's led me all the way out to LA. I've been here for 9 years.
Oh, my goodness.
And, but it all started, with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Wow. Now, where were you born and where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas. And until I was 15, and then I moved to a one-road town in Florida called Gulf Breeze, and it's not the most glamorous, the most.
You know what? So
forward.
we're doing like road trips trying to get my daughter to all 50 states by the time she's 18. And last year, one of the states we went to and stayed in was Arkansas. And I got to tell you, the people there are so nice. It's unbelievable.
They really are. And I mean, it's a beautiful place to live. The
yes,
trees,
it was very pretty.
You never even know how tall they can be until you're like, whoa.
Right.
How many
so even though
states
it's small,
do you have
it raised you, right? It raised you.
That's right. That's right. It's not a bad place to raise a kid if you want her to turn out to love horror and be a weird writer person.
I love it. Now people are going to be flocking there.
Well, there's not
so
much
Cassie,
to do.
So I know. We did do some hiking, though. That was fun.
Yes, that is true. Wonderful hiking there.
Yeah, very pretty. Get in the nature. So you started out writing. At what point and around what age did you say, you know what, the acting bug is calling me?
Well, they sort of coincided. Like I started doing community theater when I was actually like 9.
Wow.
Acting in there's this amazing organization called the Arkansas Art Center Children's Theater, where you can go and audition basically for a slate of what their shows are, and then if you get cast, then you actually have to take 2 weeks off of school.
Wow.
Because the plays are performed during the school day, and kids from all over the state will bus in to watch these plays.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sort of like an introduction to theater and to arts for a lot of these kids. And so I started doing that when I was like 9 or 10. And
I love it.
Just sort of carried on with it. Like I was a drama major, like a drama nerd, and a major in drama for college. And I went to Florida State University and studied theater with an emphasis on playwriting.
Florida State. I mean, we get some amazing submissions coming from there. So they obviously know what they're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, their film school is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough to like meet and become very close with a lot of film school alumni. There's a huge community of them out in Los Angeles. They call it like the FSU Mafia. It's insane.
I'm glad that you've tapped into that because, there are tons. And everybody, I think, really is really supportive of each other, too.
Yeah, very much. I was cast in a project like for acting, and I showed up on set, and this was a professional production. Like I was being paid to be there, and I showed up, and there were like 4 FSU alum who were part of the crew, and I had no idea when I'd been cast.
Wow.
I mean, we're everywhere. We are legion.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so what was your favorite acting job so far? Oh, gosh, that's a good one. Well, I'd say my favorite one that I've been paid to do is probably the one that had this big FSU crew. It was a College Humor production. It was like College Humor and Big Breakfast. It was their first sort of foray into trying to get some stuff on television, and it was called The Britishes. And it was basically a parody of Downton Abbey. So I was, like thick British accent. We're all wearing period clothes. It was so much fun. Oh, so was it actually on TV or was it more like a web series? What was it?
It was released. I'm trying to remember the details. It was a couple of years ago. The episodes were uploaded to YouTube, but they were also on television.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I can't remember which network because it's been a hot second.
Sure.
Yeah. My favorite non-paying stuff is I'm in a sketch comedy group with 4 other women. We're called Woman Sketch Comedy. And we've been together for like 3 years, and we've got a lot of content online. But they're my favorite people to work with.
Oh, how fun! I used to do sketch too. That's a lot of fun. So, what is the YouTube channel so people can go check that out?
Oh, we are at Woman Comedy. But it's WHOA. A lot of people have pronounced it like who man,
who,
or they'll be like, well, how man, and like no, it's it's a reference to but it's a reference to So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Okay.
There's a part where he does all of his his beat poetry, and he says, "Whoa, man, whoa, man,"
whoa,
and we thought
man.
it was hysterical. So,
well,
when
excellent.
Now, base your comedy name on a 25-year-old movie. It's really
why not?
Really good. Oh yeah.
Why not? So Cassie, so you wrote We Die Alone. How did you come up with that idea? Because it's a great script and a great little film.
Well, it was entirely collaborative. So Mark Cartwright, the director, who is absolutely incredible, he's and such a dream to work with. He reached out to me. We had been connected. I was going to write a different project that just sort of never really got off its feet.
Yeah.
But it introduced me to Mark, and so he reached out and basically said, "Okay, well here's like all of the beats." And he was very particular because he's a very cinematic director. Like he knew what he wanted. So for me, he was basically like, "Will you come on board and help write the screenplay?" Because I love dialogue, and he loves visuals. So we sort of our powers combined. We beat out the script for We Die Alone.
Well, it's wonderful. You guys did a great job. It's disturbing and sad and all of that at the same time.
Yeah. I was really excited I love playing with the expectations of the viewer.
Yeah.
So you're watching a story that you think you know where it's going, and okay, well this is familiar, and then sort of turning it around and turning it on its head. That is my favorite thing. And Mark also loves that. So the two of us we really understand each other's working language. So it was a dream to work with him. He's so specific, and so is Baker, who's the leading man.
Yes, I was just going to say, when you guys were writing it, did you know you were writing it for Baker Chase Powell?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
And I got to meet Baker, and he is such a kind person.
Yes,
I love Baker. He's so sweet. But he's such a versatile actor.
He really is, because I've seen him in many things now, and he is definitely one to watch.
Absolutely. And in person, he's a much more gregarious human being. He's very open and bright, and so then to watch, I remember watching the first cut and just being like, "Ooh, Baker, geez." Yeah, he's very gifted.
Yeah, he is. Well, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better director, better star. The whole thing just came together beautifully.
I completely agree, and I'm for me, it was particularly exciting because I'm so used to writing something, and then it just funding falls through or it just doesn't work out. So for me to get to see words that I've written and ideas that Mark and I sort of came to together, actually watch it, and then other people watch it, has been so refreshing. It's been so much fun. Right.
And now, not always do the writers go on set. Were you on set?
No, I was not on set. I was just very excitedly receiving some photos and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure it was also during a weekend when I was prepping for a show. So the timing is always what it is. But yeah, I was not on set for that.
So when you saw the first cut, were you surprised? Is it what you envisioned when you guys were writing?
It was so much what I envisioned. And, well, just because, Mark and I had I mean, some of our meetings, we would spend 45 minutes or an hour on one monologue, just being like, this word is wrong. This doesn't feel right. And he's very specific, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but getting to sit down and like see the visualization, because the screenplay itself is not very long necessarily.
No, 24 minutes is the whole film.
Yeah, but the 24 minutes, like the film is actually 24 minutes, but the screenplay I'm pretty sure is only like 14 pages.
Oh wow, because there's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Visuals, yes.
Yeah.
Like there's so much, Mark left so much space to build tension with silence and to let moments last. And, he wasn't in a hurry to get to anywhere because that built the tension so beautifully that by the end you're just like so taut.
Right.
And you're ready to break, and then it does, and you're just like, whoa. It's so yeah, I was so stunned to see everything.
Yeah, because it turned out just beautiful. How long did it take you and Mark to write it? Or was it kind of like we did some pieces here, like you had mentioned, working on certain monologues?
Yeah, so basically, I'm trying to think about the actual amount of time. Like our first meeting, we just talked about everything. We read over it, and there was no real dialogue in the script. It was just visuals and describing each scene. And so then I went home, and I'm pretty sure like later that night, I just did a deep dive and filled in all of the dialogue and then sent it back. Yeah. And then over the course of probably like 2 or 3 meetings where we sat down together, and then a couple of phone calls, we just sort of beat it out over the course of less than a month, but just because our schedules were so busy.
Sure.
So when we could meet, we would. But yeah, it was a lot of emails, a lot of back and forth, a lot of like, hey, like this word doesn't feel right. What's a better word? And then us coming up with the better word to make the monologue just that much better.
Right. Well, I love this because even though it's a short and it took that amount of time to write it, not necessarily all at once, but so many people out there think, I don't have time, I just can't get this done. If you want to do it, you make the time. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct. I mean, I read something, I think it was Chuck Wendig, I'm pretty sure, posted on Twitter that like, hey, if you write 3 pages a day, by the end of the year, you will have written like 2 or 3 feature films.
Exactly. I'm always telling people, I don't care if you write for 10 minutes a day. At the end of the year, you're going to have a rough draft of something. Yeah, and it's okay if the first draft is terrible because you're getting, like, it's supposed to be terrible. You're just, the point is to finish it. It's not get
to
it
have
out. Just get it out and feel accomplished.
Exactly.
And then work on it bit by bit, just like you guys did with the monologue, and you really worked it and changed words. And then before you know it, you've got it. And it's so many people just sit out there and they're like, I don't have time. And the years go by and they keep calling themselves a writer, but they're not writing anything. So I'm like a big proponent of just do something, baby steps.
Absolutely. Like I have a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week, and then I'm doing my comedy stuff after work. So I have days that I don't get home. Like I leave at 9:30, and I don't get home until 11 p.m. And I'm still finding the time to write everything that I can because if I stop writing, then I feel so trapped. I feel stuck if I'm not putting my energy towards something creative. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it, Cassie. I love it. Yeah, because that's exactly what I keep telling everyone to do. Okay, so now, is there a dream role you as an actor would love to play that you haven't yet?
Oh my gosh, that is such a good. I would love to be. I grew up watching like all of the Wes Craven Scream movies, and so just like the idea of being a final girl. But now I'm in my 30s, so I feel more likely that I would be like the cool aunt of the final girl or something like that.
Hey, you could still be the final girl. Darn it all, you can be it.
That's true. I can be the final girl.
Yeah.
But I love that kind of stuff. I grew up on it, and what are you gonna do?
What are you going to do? Now, do you think you will write something for you to star in, or have you already done that?
I'm usually more comfortable writing for other people, but my manager has been encouraging me to write specifically more for myself and, like, from my experience. Just as an exercise, if nothing else, just to really put myself out there in that way.
And you could trick yourself.
Yeah, I am more comfortable.
You could trick yourself and say you're just writing it for a woman in her 30s.
Yeah. I am.
If you have that much of a block.
Yeah.
Of writing for yourself.
I made an outline, sort of like I worked out an outline for a feature that I'm going to be tackling. And it's not horror, which is mostly what I've been writing. But
wow, it's not horror, you said?
No, that one's not. But I'm working on another short, not with Mark, but with my friend Sean Colin Young, who's a brilliant actor, director, producer. It's almost done. We're doing coloring, and then I think that'll be it. And so we're really excited to hit the circuit with that.
So is this one that you wrote on as well, or you're in it?
Yes.
Or both?
I'm definitely, I'm not in it, but I wrote it with Sean. It's based on like a nightmare / daydream that I had. I was listening to a lot of Billie Eilish and was just like, let's just write this thing. But I'm excited about it. It's called Dumb Bitch, which is, it's a fun title.
So what's the genre?
The genre I'd say it's more thriller than horror, but it's sort of a blend of those two genres.
Oh, sounds fun.
And it's another sort of, it's like We Die Alone in that we took a lot of time to tell the story visually. And like dialogue is used where it's necessary, but it's also a very slow visual piece, which apparently that's just my favorite thing. So I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that one's almost ready. You've done an outline of something for yourself potentially.
Yeah.
You're a busy girl.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? Like, are you on? I know you're on Twitter and Facebook, which I will list here. And are you on Instagram?
I'm a lot funnier on Facebook. I haven't quite cracked the Twitter code, so don't go there looking for gold. You'll find some stuff, but it's well, if I'm
the thing with Twitter,
honest.
the Twitter is harder to get figured out. However, it's super important because the great thing about Twitter is you can follow anyone, right? And they're not required to follow you back. Like on Facebook, they have to be your friend. So the beauty of that is you could track down anyone in this industry, no matter their level, and there is a really good chance they will communicate back. That's why I love Twitter.
I follow a lot of writers just because a lot of the time, like I said, Chuck Wendig and then C. Robert Cargill, they are just full of little golden nuggets of wisdom about writing, and very encouraging. And so I sift through all of the terrifying political stuff, and then I find
my gosh,
my little pearls of writing hope, and I hold them close to my heart. I do love that people take the time out of their day to post something positive.
Yes. And it can be very fun.
Encouragement.
Yep. Well, I'm glad to see you're on there. Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram. I'm pretty sure my tag is at @KissMyCassieK.
It is.
I'm not great. Oh,
it is, because I just found you.
I'm not great with social media.
Well,
but yeah,
Cassie, you have to
there.
get better. You have to get better at it.
I know.
Don't say you're not great. You're
know.
learning. You're getting better, because it's so important. I know I hate it, and especially because I'm an actor as well. And as actors, we must be on social media, because, and a lot of people don't realize this. So let's say you're up for a big role, and you were amazing, and they loved you. And Julie over here was amazing, and they loved her too. But Julie's got more followers than you. Who gets the role?
Yeah, Julie's got 10K, and I've got 700 tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's stupid, but they look at it as investing in advertising. Because now all you got to do is tweet out something or post something, and now you've hit all these people for free.
Yeah, basically. It's like I understand it on an intellectual level, but there are moments of, childish rebellion against it, which I'm really bad at revenge, because I've only ever managed to hurt myself in the process. Hollywood wants you to have followers. I'll show you, and not have any.
Well, then don't do it for Hollywood. Here's what you do it for. You do it to build your fan base for your next feature that you have coming out soon, right?
Yeah.
Don't do it for Hollywood. Selfishly do it for you. And if Hollywood ends up needing it at some point, it will help you there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got a lot of irons in the fire. I've got a podcast, a narrative supernatural podcast I'm working on.
Excellent.
And a rom-com.
And you can promote all of that.
Horror genre blend. Yes.
So I tagged you
in better promotion.
I tagged you on Facebook, I tagged you on Twitter and Instagram today too. So make sure you go look for those.
Yes, I will.
Because that's your homework. Your homework is to do some more posting.
Here's the thing. I was an overachiever, overachiever in school, in college. I love homework. I'm the Amy Santiago of genre shorts. I love homework. You tell me what to do, and I'll just ooh, thank you. Give me a gold star.
Cassie, you are the only person I've had on the show that goes, I love homework. Everyone else is like, we have homework? I think it's great.
I just like when someone else is like, hey, quit it, do this thing. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Oh, my gosh. I love it.
I love it. Cassie, it was so nice meeting you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And hopefully you can make it out to Shriekfest and I can meet you in person.
I would love that. I know that regardless, I'll be there because I would love to meet you. But I will definitely see you sometime in October.
Excellent. All right, Cassie, you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we will be back on here chatting soon.
I hope so. You have a wonderful day, Denise.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
You are listening to Shriekfest Radio.
All right, guys, keep following those dreams. Write down those goals. Pursue. Write if you want to write. Act if you want to act. Direct if you want to direct. But you got to do a little bit every day. Baby steps. All right, I'll see you back here again next time.